What the hell is happening into the market? We have seen a weekend that was literally crazy. Bitcoin dumping by 20%, and after that, just in a matter of one day, pumping by 30% in just 48 hours. What is happening and why? And most of all, is there any kind of signal that can help us to understand, to navigate this kind of situation? Well, I spotted a specific pattern into the chart that is something that happened just 5 times in the last 3 years and only 10 times in the last 6 years. So it is quite a rare pattern, and most of all, this is the first time, literally the first time, that is happening into this kind of setup that for the first time is bullish. So we will try to understand what does it mean, this signal, and if it can help us in order to understand what comes next. So stay tuned because it's really important and really curious. And let me say just before to start, guys, that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, fine, but always base your decisions in the most knowledge as possible. So go through, go deeper, and after that, take your decisions. And guys, don't forget also to leave us a big thumbs up, drop a comment to the comment section below. And if you want to check all our links, you will find also our Twitter and our weekly newsletter where we publish often, and we are offering different kind of in-depth analysis. Everything is all for free. Okay, guys, so let's start immediately, and I want to start with Twitter. Not because I want to spot my Twitter, but just because I published this exact signal on Twitter just 5 days ago. As you can see, it is dated the 10th of March. And as you can see, it is about the RSI. This signal happened just 5 times before this. What does it mean? So let's take the chart. This is the chart of a Bybit that, as you can see, is starting from April 2020. And since that time, this level, the blue line that you can see here, this is the kind of level that has been touched just other 5 times aside from this time. And if we take also the past, for example, we can take the Binance chart. This is the Binance chart. And as you can see, the blue lines are the kind of events that happen, as you can see, since August 17. But there is a big difference, and we'll go through all of these events because it's quite interesting to notice what happened in each of these events. And the big difference that I'm pointing out is that in all the other situations when we touch this level, we were, as you can see from the chart, below this green line. This green line is representing the 200 days moving average. And this is an important support. This is something that usually it means that we are bullish, we are in an uptrend. And this is the first time that we are touching this level of the RSI with this kind of setup. We will come back to this topic just in a moment. Right now, I want to show you what happened in the last 5 times that we touched this level. As you can see, I will just to summarize, I will use the recap that I published on Twitter. As you can see, the first signal happened on May 2021. The second one was January 22, so in the moment when the market was starting to crash after the last top of Bitcoin. The third one was the Terra Luna crash. The fourth one was 3 Arrows Capital and Celsius, and the fifth one was FTX. But what is interesting is that for each of these events, after the moment we touched this level, we had a big bounce. And usually, as you can see from this tweet here, and I will show you in a moment also the demonstration on the chart, every time we had a bounce of at least 22%, that was the smallest one, that happened the third time, only because, as you can see from this chart, the third one is happening just a couple of weeks before the fourth one. The fourth one was the 3 Arrows Capital. It was connected to the Terra Luna crash. What this indicator is telling us is that in the case we have multiple events one that is coming after the other, in that case, the kind of bounce that we will have will be smaller. Aside from that situation, all the other bounces have been at least 44%. But let's check it out also from the charts. For example, we can use here all the blue lines in order to check exactly what I said, if it is true or if I'm just wrong. As you can see, in this situation was the ones that we had that kind of level, and as you can see, after that we had this big bounce of 40%, or to be fair, after that we have been going through even higher, at higher levels in the just around a couple of months, we reached a new all-time high. So what that situation was showing us is that after a big drawdown, that as you can see, even if we were still in a bull market, that drawdown pushed us not only at that level on the other side that is so rare, but on the other side, it also has been able to broke this green line. This green line is the simple moving average 200 days that is usually the signal of a reversal of the trend. And that was the reality, because after that big trend, it took us another couple of months in order to get again above this level. Just to show you the difference, in this case, as you can see, it is pretty different. Because yes, we had this big downtrend into the RSI. As you can see, we touched this blue line. But on the other side, we didn't break the green line. We just touched that. And as you can see, we were just slightly below it, but we bounced back above it in a matter of hours. And that's something that is really important, because usually staying and testing the 200 days moving average is an extremely bullish sign. I'm not saying that in this moment a new bull run will start, but I'm just suggesting that this is the confirmation that what we are seeing right now wasn't just a crazy price movement, but we are in an uptrend. We tested the simple moving average, we had a strong reaction, and right now we are trying again to break this resistance at 25k, this one here. As you can see, just yesterday we tried, but we have been rejected. The point is that how long it will take for us to go above this line. The answer is that nobody can tell us, but let's try to do something. Let's try to measure which kind of bounce we had this time. So if we take from the bottom to the top of this movement, even the shadows I'm taking, as you can see, we have a 33% of bounce. And if we try to compare this bounce with what happened in the last, in all the other 5 events, as you can see, as we were saying, first time we had a 134%. The second time we had 45%, again at 22, 48, 64. So with the exception of one time, in all the other cases, we should expect a kind of gain that is higher compared to what we already had. On the other side, there is also another thing that is quite curious. As you can see, usually this gain here has been touched by the price after several weeks. Even in the shortest case, that was this one, so the third one in the case of Terra Luna, we had this bounce and we touched the maximum level after 20 days. Usually, in order to reach the maximum, it takes some time. Obviously, this is the reality if anything else is happening, because we have always to remember that what we are talking about is just a matter of probabilities. But nothing will prevent the price of Bitcoin to dump again if tomorrow a big crisis is happening. Let's say that another stablecoin is losing the peg, if the governments will go after, and so on. So there are many different kind of black swans that can bring the price of Bitcoin at a much lower level. But on the other side, all of these signals are suggesting that, yes, we are in an uptrend that has been starting from here, so in December, at the end of December. we tested this moving average. It was a super bullish sign, and we are bouncing again. How long it will take to reach the maximum of this movement, nobody knows it, and what we know is that usually takes at least a couple of weeks. So we can try even to make a prediction. Let's say that it will take at least 40 days. It will be by the 20th of April. In any case, 40 days will be in any way just the shortest if we exclude the third one that was about terminal crash. All the other ones were at least 58 days. 58 days to reach a maximum means something like here. So it will be like the 8th of May. Obviously, there is no real answer. I'm just giving suggestions just to tell you guys, it doesn't mean that we have to reach the right now. It's not something that has to happen today. What is important is that we have to break this resistance at 25K, and after that we can try to run at a higher level. And the first target could be around 30K, and as you can see, 30K would have been around 56% of gain. That is a pretty good gain and pretty close to what we have seen in all the other situations, because excluding the first one, that was just the bounce here in May 21, as many can remember, this one that we were talking previously, and it was the only one that happened during a bull run. This is another quite interesting thing, because all the other ones, as you can see, this one, and all the others are in a bear market. So it could be reasonable thinking that if the history repeats itself, what we can have is a kind of bounce of around 30K in a time that is around 40 days, 50 days, if history repeats itself. It doesn't mean that it will happen in this way. What is important to notice is that this kind of behavior is quite rare. So having this kind of big downside was something that was some way unexpected, but on the other side it's quite healthy, because also usually after this kind of correction we have some kind of bounce, and seeing this kind of bounce happening on top of the 200 days moving average, well, this is amazing. Guys, let me know, what do you think? What does it mean, this signal, in your opinion? Is it something that means nothing? Is it something that is suggesting that we are starting, I'm not saying a bull run because it's not the case, or at least it's too early to be said, but yes, we are in a big uptrend, and the goal, the target is 30K. Obviously, we need to understand what will happen with the macroeconomics, because this is something that can obviously affect the whole crypto market. And if we are not able to break, and again guys, we need to close above at least 25.5 in my opinion to be sure that we have been able to break this resistance, and even better, not just a daily close but a weekly close. I want to add another thing. Remember, if you are waiting for this kind of daily or weekly close, be aware that it's not for granted that you will have the time to jump in and to set up a trade just saying, okay, I will wait for Bitcoin to close above this level because it's much more secure, and in a moment when it's closing above this level, I will open my position. It is a possibility, obviously, that you will have time, but on the other side, as we have seen just the other day with Bitcoin, we had done something like 30% in a matter of hours. So it is really impulsive, the movement. So be aware of that. I'm not saying that you should anticipate. I'm just suggesting you guys build your strategy based on facts and take in consideration all the different options and all the data that are available. Because really, you can lose a lot of money in this kind of impulsive price movements, but on the other side, you need to pay attention, because the risk of being liquidated or doing something wrong, it's always there. Let me know what you think into the comment section below. What is the target price, when we will reach it, and what will happen after. we will just going down again, retesting and breaking the bottom, or we can start another bull run. Let me know it in the comment section below. Guys, thank you for following me, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye, guys.